Beloveds, welcome to the Tea of Life. Here we have a safe space to be in thought, be in reflection, and be in support of one another. Today we will be discussing finances, specifically spending habits and budgets. I know. There are 342,457,906 people and counting in America. The dependency that the U.S. economy has on the modern day consumer is more than half that statistic. With 70% of the consumer spending influencing the U.S. economy, it is vital to make sure that the U.S. consumer's monetary status is ever evolving. The working class monetary gain makes up 45% of the economic spending, even though the median household income for the working class is just $48,060. The financial behaviors of today's consumer have a keen influence on the consumer-driven part of the economy. Today's consumer spending habits will have a direct effect on how well they will be able to navigate this current economy. There are 5 traditional identified spending habits, and they are as follows. The ROI spender, spending only for the specific reason that will yield a return. The self-rescuing spender, spending just to make them feel good. The social populist spender, needing to spend money or to be perceived as having money even when they don't. The sky is falling spender. This is a person that is super reluctant to spend money due to their need to be prepared for a possible imminent danger moment. And lastly, the checked out spender. This person doesn't know the details of their finances or how they work. They just know the basics. Now, beloveds, I have 2 very insightful videos to share with you today, with the different views on the same topic. One from a traditional logic view and the other from a psychologic reasoning view. But look, I'm done talking. Without further ado, let's jump into these videos.
If you don't tell your money where to go, you're going to wonder where it went. In all of my years of financial counseling, I discovered that most people who couldn't figure out where their money went were not on a budget. They were just winging it every week, every month, year after year. But Proverbs 27:23 says, "Know well the condition of your flocks, because wealth doesn't last forever." Now that means that just like a good shepherd knows every detail about their sheep, we should know the details about our finances. And the only way to do that is to live on a budget. So here are 5 reasons why most people hate budgets, but why we need them anyway. Number 1, budgets feel too restrictive. I had a guy tell me one time that he feels like he's in a straitjacket when he budgets. But here's the deal. A good budget doesn't just tell you what you can't do. It just helps you do what you should do. Number 2, budgets require vision. Most people don't have a vision when it comes to their finances. Proverbs 29:18, one of my favorite verses, it says, "Where there is no vision, people perish." No vision means no direction. So if you don't know why you're budgeting, then it's not going to be any fun at all. But if you have a vision, like paying off debt or saving to buy a house or retiring comfortably one day, then that becomes your motivation to budget. So you gotta have a vision. Now, the third reason people hate budgets is because budgets force you to face reality. That can be scary for a lot of people. A lot of people are afraid to face the truth about their financial condition. Truths like, I'm spending more than what I make, or wow, I eat out a whole lot. But here's the thing, you can't change what you will not confront. Facing reality, it may be uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Number 4, people hate budgets because budgets feel unnecessary when you have a surplus. In other words, people who have money think, why do I need a budget? I'm good. I got extra money. I have money left over every month. I'm balling. But without a plan, your surplus can easily turn into a deficit. You see, a budget is a plan for your spending, no matter how much money you have. So don't let today's abundance become tomorrow's regret because you didn't budget. And number 5, people claim that budgets never work for them. Maybe their old budget was unrealistic or too rigid or too complicated, so they just gave up. But the key is finding a budgeting system that fits your life. Because at the end of the day, a budget isn't about restricting your life. It's about unlocking your financial potential.
Did you realize that 79% of people who try to budget fail? This is a huge problem, and it's not just because people have been given bad financial advice. It's because of this thing called RAS and your cognitive bias. So when you have a belief, let's say that belief is you're bad with money, your brain is constantly looking for ways to confirm that bias. So here you are wanting to save money. Maybe you want to buy a house. Maybe you want to pay off your student loans. And you know that you just have to create a budget because that's what traditional advice tells you. Create a budget and everything will change. The problem is budgets don't work. They don't address the real problems we're having because for most people, it's not a simple math problem. So you do what traditional advice tells you to and you create a budget and maybe you have success for a month or two, but then you fall off because you didn't address any of the psychology or behaviors that were actually keeping you stuck. So your confirmation bias kicks in and it goes, yep, told you weren't good with money. Hyper-focuses on all the bad things you do with your money to prove that bias that you are not good with money. Every time you overspend, every time you buy that coffee, every time you give yourself a little bit of joy, brain kicks in and goes, yep, this is proof that we are not good. And if we know anything about psychology, we know whether we think we can't or we think we can't, we are right. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And now this belief becomes ingrained in you, so you start to act out your truth. When you have the opportunity to self-sabotage, like buying that thing on your credit card or missing that payment or not packing your lunch, you think, oh well, this is just who I am. This is how a budget literally keeps you broke, by reinforcing old and negative thought patterns that tell you that you're not good enough so that you don't even try.
All I can say is wow. I understand both views. Beloveds, drop a comment and tell me which one of the views you find yourself sitting crisscross applesauce in, okay? Although spending habits are just a part of finances that contribute to your financial health, 21% of the working class say that they have knowledge about their personal finances and how they work, leaving 79% of the working class lacking the knowledge about their financial health and possibly needing financial literacy. Listen, understanding and obtaining knowledge and clarity about your financial health contributes to your financial literacy. At Real Life Solutions, we can help you get the answers you need, one conversation at a time. Call today, 410-364-1150. I do the work to make it work. As I sign off from our Tea of Life session for today, remember, beloveds, lead with love, think with compassion, and speak with understanding. Until next time.